Hey, how are you? Congratulations.
Thank you very much. Very excited to be here.
How are you feeling with that performance?
Amazing. I feel really good. It was a tough one in there because I had to throw my original game plan out the window and figure out a way to beat him while in the fight. So I'm really happy that we figured out that the low kick was there and we got to expose it.
What was that original game plan?
The original game plan was to light him up with the right hand because when I watch his previous fights, he's the type of guy who puts a lot of pressure and throws a lot of volume, walks guys down with 1-1-2, 1-2, 1-1-2. So when you throw a lot of punches, you're open to a lot of counter shots. So he did 3 fights in a row where he fought like that in striking. So I really expected him to come and press me and throw lots of punches. And then he didn't do it. Actually, every time I stepped in, he would step out. So I was like, oh, wait a second, this is not what we prepared for. And then when we had one engagement, I threw my overhand and he rolled it so bad. I was like, I was the one exposed from throwing. So then I was like, okay, I got to find something else. I got to make some kind of change in my game.
I'm not sure how much you guys were watching the fights backstage, but there was 2 decision wins that some people on Twitter are saying were robberies. When it went to the decision, were you worried, and had you seen that, and was that kind of in your mind?
No, I saw the fights, but I didn't see what people were saying on Twitter or the controversy or whatever. Even for me, like the fight with Michael Johnson, I think that's got to be one of them. That's honestly, both men deserve a win bonus. I think they really put their hearts out there, and it's really hard to pick a winner in a fight like that. But for my fight, I felt like once I started low kicking him, he didn't land anything really on my face. I feel like in round 1 he landed a couple of punches. But after round 2, nothing really landed that I would consider significant, and I feel like my low kicks landed. And in round 3, I started popping him with the jab near the end. So I felt like, yeah, it was pretty obvious round 2 and 3.
And you were an underdog going into this fight. Is that something that you pay attention to, and does that kind of help you and give you a little bit of motivation, or do you prefer not to pay attention to that stuff?
I prefer being an underdog because all my boys back home make bank. You know, the last fight, everyone said I couldn't win by finish, and a lot of my boys bet that I would win in less than 2.5 rounds. And they took home a lot of money, and I hope they bet that I was going to win tonight.
And you mentioned your coach, and I was wondering if you could tell us a little bit about him.
My coach, Master Peter, he's a great human being. He has over 150 Muay Thai fights. He's been training at TriStar. Actually, he's been in Montreal since the 1980s. I don't know if everybody knows, but we're 4 brothers, and my older brother is like 14 years older than me. And in 1989, Master Peter was training my oldest brother in Muay Thai, and then my second brother, and then Faraz, and then me. You know, and he died in his close to 7 years old, and we've known him since we were children. And he was a big part in our lives in terms of martial arts and teaching us the ways of fighting and things like that. And he actually took my brother Faraz to Thailand 2 times. So the day I received the contract and sent it back was the day he died. So he had told me the day before, he's like, please, no more losing. No more losing. Use Muay Thai, no more losing. And he told me, never born, never die. I said, okay, never born, never die. So I keep him with me. That's why I want to make sure I mention him tonight, Master Peter Sisamfu.
Was there any hesitation to take the fight because of that?
No hesitation, because he wouldn't want me not to fight. Like, I told him that I would got the fight, and he told me not to lose. He told me to take it. He told me to win. You know, he wants the fighting. He's all about the fighting spirit. He'll fight on his deathbed. He was ready to fight. You know, there's actually it's a great story with him. Like, he's not afraid of anything. And if you're the type of person, you're stuck somewhere and there's 10 guys who want to beat you up, and he's the only one there, he's ready to take on all 10 guys with you. Like, he's there for you no matter what it is.
Thank you.
Hey, Aiemann. You were coming off a lengthy layoff.
Yes.
Is there a reason for that?
Yeah, a few different reasons. Number one, I don't know if everybody knows, but in Canada, COVID restrictions are extremely high. We even had a curfew till 8 o'clock and things like that. I don't want to talk bad about my country too much there. But after my fight with Draco, things got really bad in terms of restrictions. And going to the gym and training and getting a team together was hell. And then they released on their website that, you know, if you're a professional athlete, you can apply to get an exemption. I applied. It's only for Montreal Canadians, so it was very tough. Then finally, when the restrictions came off, I got a few injuries. I didn't want to talk about them before the fight because I don't want Ricky thinking, oh yeah, he's hurt, I'm going to go in there, I'm going to break him, and blah, blah, blah. And I also didn't want to talk about it because I don't want people to think that if I lose, I was going to blame it on my injuries. But yeah, I had like a few different injuries back to back, and the last one took me like 6 months to get out of. But I'm happy to still be in the UFC and winning.
Can you share what those injuries were?
I'm not giving my opponents nothing. Nothing. I take everything. I give them nothing.
Was there, when you were locked down, was there, were you Was there a thought maybe of coming to America to train, or?
Yeah, big time. Actually, me and my two brothers, my brothers wanted to move, wanted to leave the country or something. Wanted to figure something out. We got to find a way to keep living life, you know. But then things really calmed down eventually when the summer came around, and then they made things more livable. So we decided to stay. But I just saw Henry Hoof back there, and I've trained with him before. Great guy. I asked him if I can come out there for a week, maybe train with him and his boys, and he told me he'd take care of me if I came out there. So that's a possibility too.
Awesome. Well, I'm glad that you were able to come back and fight.
Thank you very much.
And congratulations.
Thank you. Yes, sir.
Yeah, real quick, you mentioned about how, Ricky, you had to change your game plan.
Yeah.
Did any of the extra three actions that he threw at you, did that factor into changing your game plan?
No, that didn't really play a factor. It kind of like, at first, in the first round when he started doing them, I was like, okay, can this guy do spinning shit real good? I don't know. I got to be careful. So then I eased my way in with that. And then once I figured out when I stepped in, he stepped out, I was like, okay, that jumping and spinning stuff, it's not really going to come out tonight. It's not going to be too dangerous.
That's all I got. Thank you.
Oh, thank you very much, sir.
I just got one for you. I heard GSP is in the building. Did he
GSP
come
came-
in here to support you?
Yeah, he came out here. He was here for a Chuck Norris charity seminar and some kind of charity program. And I told him I was fighting, but he didn't know we'd both be in Vegas at the same time. So then he called me this week. He said, hey, man, I'm going to come to your fight. I said, okay, you want to come be my corner man? He said, what time is your fight? Then I told him what time my fight was, and he was supposed to come. But then my bout position got changed because there was some cancellations. And then once they changed me to later on the card, he could no longer be here for the fight, but he still came backstage to see me before the fight.
That's awesome. Did he tell you anything or give you any words of encouragement before going out there?
You know what's funny is that I saw something that Deion Sanders said in an interview recently, and George told me basically the exact same thing. And Deion Sanders says that if you're out there trying to be the man, you're proving that you're not the man. The guy who is the man is just the man being himself. And today when I saw George told me, don't try to do anything extra today. You are who you are. You're going to win being who you are. Just go out there and be you. That's enough. So it was great to hear that from him.
That's some incredible words. I'm sure that motivated you before.
Oh, yeah. I loved seeing him. My next fight, I want to have him in my corner. I'm going to ask him.
That would be incredible.
Yeah.
Congrats on the victory.
Thank you very much.
Congrats on the win, my man. You mentioned
Yes.
you want GSP next, so I'm assuming he has never cornered you, or
No, he's never cornered me. I never asked him, because he's a fighter too, and I don't want to bother him and things like that. But now he's got nothing but time. He's got nothing but time. He's out there doing movies and stuff. He's chilling. Yeah.
you know he's got time. He's growing his hair out and styling.
He's styling. He's going to the salon now, I think. I don't know what's going on over there. I don't think it's a regular barber now.
And it has to take you to the next level with the family. It's like in your blood to be, in hand-to-hand combat. And then a GOAT like GSP to be there. How does that raise your game? I mean, it has to be something unique to have that type of team behind you.
It's incredible to have someone who's so great believe in me. It's nice because, I'm sure a lot of fighters feel the same way in the sense that on the way here, in the back, you're doubting yourself. There's those moments of doubt and you feel like, oh man, am I good enough? Or did I do enough? Or I was worried about I didn't eat enough food from the weight cut to now. There's so many things going on in your head. Then have someone like GSP just really believe in me. It's a nice to have. It's a very nice to have.
That's excellent. And last for me to piggyback off my man's question.
Yeah.
How do you stay disciplined in there? Because sometimes guys will be baited with the screaming and the yelling and your opponent turning to the audience and saying, give me your energy. How do you just, tunnel vision that?
The way I see it is, if he's so good, just come beat me. You don't need to talk to the crowd. It's me and you in there. The crowd ain't fighting for him. The arena isn't fighting for him. The fact that I'm prelim or on the main card, that doesn't fight for him. Nothing fights for him but himself. So if he wants to go out there and waste his energy focusing on the crowd, jumping and doing stuff like that, that's on him. I'm here to win. I was trying to focus and adapt and try to come up with some way to win in there because the first way I had to win was very hard to apply.
Congrats on the win.
Thank you very much.
All right, my man.
Good. Thank you so much.